Thank you very much, sir. Uh, yeah. At the outset, I thank NRI Institute of Technology, Agrippalli, Principal Dr. Nagabhaskar, Head of the Department, Dr. Sunita, and the Program Coordinator, Dr. K.V. Sambasiva Rao, and all the staff for this invitation. I'm privileged to discuss the topic modern blending the technology for qualitative learning in this online forum. I'll share my screen. Kind request to participants, if any issue with my audio or the presentation, please unmute and let me know. We will resolve it. So while the whole world is struggling with the coronavirus outbreak, business and the governments were reliant on the technology to support the citizens. For every organization involved in dealing with the crisis, digital systems have become an absolute lifeline. At a time when the countries have been placed on a lockdown, students are turning to video conferencing apps for getting on their curriculum as school remains closed. In this context, I would like to discuss blending the technologies for qualitative learning that promotes excellence and innovations in teaching learning process. Actually, I have planned my presentation in two parts. In the first half, I will be discussing the topic, and in the second half, I will demonstrate technology-mediated pedagogical tools within the given time schedule. Okay? Yes. The resource materials, tools, platforms, images are used in this presentation only for the academic purpose under the Fair Use Clause of Copyright Act 1957 and the amendments 1999, 2002 and 2012. Yes. I'm sure you all agree with me that this is the picture at all our college campuses. Generation Z are comfortable with the technologies. They are grown up in the current environment of ubiquitous mobile communications. Internet has revolutionized the learning process. There is a greater access to knowledge in the digital form. Every learner practically has access to such resources. Ideally, therefore, it is required to maximize such quality time spent by students on learning various topics of our subjects. There is a need for transformation. I mean, we being the teachers, we being the information provider to become a learning facilitator. That requires that transformation is required. The technology-based pedagogy, that is blending the technology in pedagogical aspects that could help in achieving this transformation. I would like to quote the quote by Jennifer Fleming: teaching in the internet age means we must teach tomorrow's skills today. This slide here, I have just listed the backdrop of traditional teaching. Traditional teaching in the sense that is teacher-centric teaching. I mean here I want to tell the absence of technology. What are the backdrops? So some of the backdrops mentioned here. poor in the large audience, the bigger classroom, teacher's voice audibility is the issue. When teacher faces the blackboard, shows back to the students, maximum interaction happens with the chalk and duster, that is teacher centric classroom. And once the things are rubbed, the contents will go. Referring back the book content becomes difficult. Explaining three-dimensional objects is a challenging task. Visibility till the last bench is doubtful. So these are all the some of the backdrop of traditional teaching. Once again I tell, traditional teaching in the sense the absence of technology, that is teacher centric classroom I am talking about. What is the result? The result, what happens with the teacher centric or traditional classroom? This is what happening. The teacher still lecturing, students may get bored, less motivations for students, their minds may wander, they miss the key information. Now, in this context, let me explain the learning retention rates by type of the teaching. So all of us may be aware of the 5%, the retention rate is 5%. When hearing the lecture, reading the retention rate is 10%, where the audio visual 20%. But if we move further, the group discussion, practice by doing, the retention rate increases, that is 75%. It clearly shows here the retention rate, that is increases from passive learning to participatory learning. That is, when we make it less interactive to more interactive, the retention rate is good here. Okay, so how can we make it? One more point I wanted to mention. This particular graph, yes. Yeah. This particular graph here shows the the attention span of a student. Okay, so the study claims that typical students' attention span is 10 to 15 minutes, whereas our classes last for 60 to 90 minutes. So students' attention span is only 15 minutes, but our classes are 60 to 90 minutes. And it's natural for student attention levels to vary according to motivation, mood, perceived relevance of the material, and other factors. The question raises how to keep students alert for the longer period of time. Here the technology will help us. Let me explain. See, if you observe this graph, see the 15 minutes, the student attention span is 15 minutes. So after the 15 minutes, the attention effectiveness of grasping decreases like this. Okay. What if we change the method? See, every 10 to 15 minutes, if we change the method, see method 1, 10-15 minutes, again the method, again when this decreases, again I will switch to another method. Next, again I switch to another method. So that the student attention, that we can instead of 10-15 minutes, student can attentively present in my class longer the time. So here the different methods means we can blend the technology in the classroom, so that improves the quality in the teaching. Now, as we all aware that the new educational policy is built on the foundation pillars of access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. This policy aims at appropriately integrating technology into all levels of education. Teaching learning scenarios in the 21st century classroom, the scenario is changing here. Say, for example, anytime, anywhere, because of the inculcation of technology, internet, the learning has become anytime, anywhere, 24/7 access with the www. I mean here web in the sense internet. So internet has made the thing easy. Anytime, anywhere, learning becomes possible. The social networking we had seen in the first slide, techno-savvy students. So social networking helps. That is how, in the language of digital natives, our students are techno savvy. So let's make use of social networking for delivering our content or various classroom related activities. It is possible because of the technology. It has become possible learning after the institution timing. So the college timing 10 to 6 or 10 to 4. Even it is possible to learn after 4 also. The resources are available. Mobile learning with smartphones, GPS, data loggers, iPod. So that the device, the smartphone, it can be used as a learning device. Plus, customized learning with one-to-one support is also possible because of the inculcation of technology, blending the technology in the classroom. Okay, let me discuss little bit about 21st century skills in the classroom. The 21st century pedagogy, if you observe here, it is the teaching and developing thinking skill focuses on high order thinking skills. This is encouraged collaboration with suitable technologies, effective communication, team skills, interdisciplinary approaches, the enabling technologies here, interdisciplinary approach, collaborative mediums, digital tools. Yeah. If any issue, please for
Hello, madam, please unmute yourself and speak. Hello.
yeah. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, madam.
Okay. Shall I continue?
Yeah, please.
Yes. Yes. The assessing students with the clear, transparent goals, objectives, the developing that 21st century pedagogy focuses on developing problem solving using interdisciplinary approaches, real world problems. It focuses on developing information fluency, media fluency, technological fluency. So these are the various skills uh, expected in the 21st century classroom. Let me take you to the technological component of the 21st century classroom. So if you observe here, the major components, project-based learning and collaborative learning, then online class courses, resources. This picture here clearly shows. So this is the online classroom where all the digital, the students connected here with their devices, the instructor facilitating contents through the technology. Now, what's the benefit? Online games, gamification in the classroom is possible. So because of this online technology mediated pedagogy, the learning analytics, so all the students activities gets recorded at the back end, and the instructor uh, the on at that moment itself the all the activities, student performance, what students are doing, everything recorded at the server side. So the analytics becomes easy here. Integration of social networking. So all these are the major components of technology-enabled 21st century classroom. So what are the major reasons why to inculcate, why to blend technology in the classroom? Adapt to diverse learning styles. As I explained you, method 1, to retain the student attention span, we need to switch different methods. We need to bring it in our classroom. So adapt learning styles possible. Boost the student motivate. It boosts the student's motivation. It motivates the student. Means, see, I myself experimented this in the class. When I conducted some, I'm telling you, before the pandemic, in my regular face-to-face classroom, some quiz I conducted online using Kahoot app. So when I asked students, use your smartphone and attempt this quiz, so they were so happy while attempting the quiz. So that motivates the students, enhance the material being taught. So not only what I'm teaching 40 minutes, in addition to that, lots of material I can share with my students with the help of technology. So it all depends on how student uses that. So some may need more material, I'm providing them. So this is possible with the help of technology. Now, the social media is changing the classrooms. So just giving a thought here, that is the 6 ways how the social media can change your classroom. We the teachers, we can get real sense of what students are thinking. So let me tell some in the social media. I have created the group, WhatsApp group, where I'm interacting with the student. So I get a sense what students are thinking by observing their post related to academics I'm talking. You learn easy access in the moment of the materials. So we can show the mentor web presence, so course portfolios, teacher portfolios, where all the resources I'm sharing with the students. We can connect with the classroom to people to make a big impact. See, say just for example, now I'm sitting at Kolhapur, and the particular, thanks to Atal FDP, online FDP, the FDP is conducted by Agripalli NRIT College, and the participants from all around the India are attending this. How it has become possible? Because of the technology. That is, you'll connect, it is with the help of social media, I can connect my students, families also. Students will think about the lessons outside the classroom. Huge number of structured activities can be given in the class with the help of technology. So that I think last 5 days you must have learned various things related to higher education, modern pedagogical techniques. So that makes the student to think about lessons outside the classroom. We need to look at the following few things in the today's classroom. See, voice, I'm talking about the peer learning. Peer learning. So students should learn from others and then share their learning. So that is peer learning. Maybe you are all aware of choice-based learning system. So that is depending on the student, give students the choice. Time for reflection. So everyone, so get student, students getting time here to reflect, assimilate all these things. Opportunities, innovations for the students, critical thinking, problem solving, self-assessment, connected learning. All these things are expected in the classroom, and we can achieve these things by blending technology in the classroom. Let me discuss the little bit about the interactive classroom, the IT adoption trajectory. Very earlier, the learning process, it was paper-based learning process. No classroom technology or the digital content. So I can recall my childhood days during my primary schools. No classroom technology that time. Everything was paper based. Then we moved into sporadic teacher-centric learning access, where the LMS tools, learning management tools, only at the teacher side, admin side, and only one device in the classroom. So I remember when I was in the sixth or seventh, one computer in the school like that, very a village in the Udupi district. So a computer in one computer in one school like that, something like that. Sporadic student center, that is, then when I came to my high school, I saw the computer labs, little, not high level like today, the digital content, but no interactive tools. Later, the teacher-centric, teacher uses the technology like the PCs, interactive whiteboards, LMS systems, etc. Now, where we are now, we are in the interactive classroom, purely student-centric, where all the students have access to devices. So we learned lot many things related to online technology during pandemic. Pandemic taught us many things. The digital content, software, everything. So now, thus, this is the trajectory IT adoption in the classroom. In connection to this, how can we inculcate technology in teaching learning? So I have just listed down, and immediately after 2-3 slides, I will demonstrate these things. Okay. So the Google Apps for e-content creation, file hosting services like Dropbox, mobile apps to boost the engagement, enhance the interaction and instant updates, interaction with the social media as sharing and the discussion portal, blogging the classroom for collaboration, YouTube channels here, YouTube channels to cross the boundaries of the classroom, MOOCs for online learning, learning management system, Moodle as digital classroom. See, these are all the various technological components that we can inculcate in our classroom. I mean here, see, I'm going to demonstrate these things. See, YouTube channels, let me tell. During the pandemic period, so we all, earlier we have not created our YouTube lectures, but to connect with our students, our resources should reach to our students. We created the lectures and we have hosted it in the channel, so the student accessed our lectures, that cross the boundary of the classroom. And we all aware of online courses. So whatever there in the curriculum, in addition to curriculum content, curricular content, additional content, students join, not only students, we teachers also, to enhance our skill, enhance our knowledge. So we enrolled for online courses, so that helped the academics. So then blogging, social media, wikis, all these things are for connecting with the students. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate few of these things. Now, this leads to blended learning. So blending the technology in the classroom or for the qualitative learning. See, again, I'm talking about my initial first two slides. So in the first slide, we observed that the students are techno-savvy, okay, Generation Z. How to make them use their resources or the smartphone or the technology to upgrade their skill. That's the one thing. Second thing, to talk about the classroom, the attention span is 15 minutes. But how can I make my students to remain attentively for the longer period? So this is possible with the help of blended learning. What is blended learning? I think you all may be aware of. It's the combination of the face-to-face learning with the supervised online activities. Classroom, whatever happens in the classroom, in addition to that, some structured online activities that together we can call it as blended learning, where we have live synchronous, that is face-to-face interaction, uh, live online interactions. So coaching, collaboration, all these falls under the live activities. That is this particular part, face-to-face activities. In addition to that, I'm adding some supervised learning activities. Here actually the teacher's job is more here, but we do it once and the same thing we can use it repeatedly for the next coming years with some additions. Okay, so I can add the multimedia content for my course, web-based learning, performance management. So that is the blended learning here, the combination of live class, face-to-face content in addition to on-demand, that is asynchronous content. Together it makes blended learning, and this is possible with the inculcation of technology in the teaching learning, that is in the pedagogical process. So when I'm talking about blended learning, it's required to mention flipped classroom. All of us may be aware of flipped classroom. Normally what happens in the traditional classroom? In the traditional classroom, the delivery of the information, knowledge delivery, information sharing happens in the classroom. The assimilation of the content happens at the home. What happens? We explain the things in the class and we tell the student to solve this particular problem, home assignment we give. Okay, so that is assimilation of the content happens at the home. But the problem is that when students solving the problem at the home, that time the instructor or the facilitator is not available there if he faces some issue, if something is not clear. So the concept is flipped classroom. Instead of lower level of Bloom's taxonomy, we're moving towards the higher levels, higher order of learning, where whatever happening in the class, that should happen at the home, outside the class, and whatever happening at the home or the outside the class, that is happening in the, that should happen at the classroom. That is flipping here. Lectures in the class should happen at the home, and the assimilation of the content which is happening at home should happen at the class. Means here actually again the more work at the teacher's side. The content should, students should go through the content, understand, read the content at outside the class, and the problem solving should happen at the inside the class. So that time what happens, we the instructors, teachers, facilitators available in the classroom, we can solve their problems. Okay, that is what the concept of flipped classroom. This can be achieved with the help of technology. So various online materials, it may be the text, PDF, your Word document, or the podcast, audio, video. These resources can be shared with the student. So we can blend the technology with our pedagogy to achieve this flipped classroom. Okay, this thing. What it takes to teach with the technology. The topic of today's discussion is blending the technology for qualitative learning. So how should I plan? I as a teacher, or how should I plan to blend the technology for my pedagogy? So planning for the learning in the mix of physical and digital spaces. So I have to plan properly. What should I deliver in my face-to-face class, and what should be shared with the students as the additional material? So I need to plan curating and adapting the existing content resources. So lots of resources, as I told in the beginning, internet has revolutionized the learning process. huge resources available. Okay, so now how making use of those resources, designing, this is very important. So when I was talking about blended learning, the structured online activities, see, to retain the students attention in the classroom, we need to switch the methods. Okay, designing the activities, resources for all type of active learning, personalized and adaptive teaching that improves the traditional methods, and we are required to provide the flexibility in blended learning options, guiding and nurturing large cohort of the students, learning the usage of technologies to improve the scale and outcome. Normally what happens, let me take this example itself, FDP. So if it is the face-to-face FDP, we put the limit only 40 participants. Okay, but because it is online, it has become, the limit has reached 200 or more. Okay, so that is because of technology, the scale has improved, outcome also, qualitative outcome we can attain. Okay, these are the various things need to be followed, I mean need to be checked while adapting technology in my classroom. These two experiment I will show you at the end if time permits. Okay, now I have reached the second half of my presentation, where I'm going to demonstrate some of the technology mediated pedagogical tools. Okay, some of the tools which I used or my institute is using, that I'm sharing, experimented, that I'm sharing with you. Okay, the first one, Google Classroom. I think most of you are aware of this. Google Classroom is the virtual collaboration tool for teachers and students. It is free web service by Google, simplifying teaching learning process. Here this supports creation, dissemination and grading in a paperless way. Google Classroom, here it combines with other utilities. I mean Google Docs, Google Sheets, the slides for the creating the content, Gmail, calendar for scheduling, Gmail for the Google Hangout, Gmail for the communication, Hangout, Google Meet for the online lectures. So all this, the Google Classroom has combined all these things. I will just take you to my classroom. Yes. So to create a Google Classroom, briefly I will explain you. You can check it later. To create a Google Classroom, you should have Gmail account. Okay. Go to App Launcher. In the App Launcher, here you can see Classroom. Okay. So click on this. You can see here this button, either to create a class or join the class. So click on the Create Class. Okay, so click on the create class, that asks all the details. So I will show you these are the classes current semester I am using. I'll show you, this is the class artificial intelligence class. Here I created this class and how my students have joined this class. I shared the code. This is the code. This code is shared with the students. Student joined this class using this code. So I'll show you. These are the students present in my class. Okay. So there are mainly 4 components. Stream is the component where all the chronological, the post, whatever I'm posting, everything students gets. Okay. The classwork is the major part here. All the resources which I want to share with the students available here. All the online activities available here. Say for example, I have arranged the content. Unit wise, I have arranged the content. Okay, student having the access here. Say for example, the knowledge representation. The test is conducted, presentation is shared. So like this. Now the assessment part. So I have shared the YouTube, my own video lecture. I have shared with the students. Okay, so the lecture uploaded to YouTube. That URL is shared with the student. So along with whatever the live classes, see, I'm talking about blended learning. We are having weekly 3 to 4 live online classes. In addition to that, the resources are shared in the Google Classroom. The assessment part of this, let me show you. See, the objective test conducted, the online test conducted, the test was, yeah, this is the performance of the student. The test was conducted. So students, how attempt, that is shown here. So this is just a brief overview of the Google Classroom as a virtual classroom tool, free service by Google. We can make use of this in addition to our face-to-face pedagogical things. The resources can be shared, online activities can be conducted with the help of Google Classroom. Okay, next, the second one, Mentimeter, an online interaction. See, we do interact in the classroom. Some of the online activities we can bring in the regular classroom just to encourage students towards learning. Okay, switching the methods. See here, Mentimeter is an online editor to create an interactive presentation. This is to get, we can experiment now, and I'll give you one small assignment for 30 seconds. Okay, I forgot. Okay, yes, to get a real-time input from online students with live polls, quizzes and clause. Okay, so now how this works, let us test it. I request all of you, please go to menti.com. Okay, I request all of you, yeah, please go to menti.com. I'm giving you 1-2 minutes and enter the code 528730. Requesting all participants, yeah, requesting all participants, please go to menti.com. You can participate now. You can see what the Menti is doing for us. Go to menti.com, enter this code, submit. There is a question for you. Okay, there is a question. Please attempt this question. Give your answer. Name ICT tools for teaching learning process. Give your answer. Let us construct the word cloud here. Yeah, code you. I will post it in the chat window. Just a minute. Requesting all yes. This is the URL and the code is, yes, this is the code. Go to menti.com. Take only 1 minute because we are having only 15 minutes. Okay. So go to menti.com and give this code. Okay. Give your answers. Give your answers. Yeah. So this constructs the word cloud. See. Thank you very much, participants, for interacting. See, I asked the question. Okay, we can use this in our classroom, even in the online also, even in the regular classroom, giving some question and asking them to answer this. Okay. See, now this has constructed the word cloud. Okay. There are various other options available, so you please explore it later. I just orient you. Okay. I have such many tools. So there are various way to receive the response and show it to the student, so they will feel happy. See, here it tells Google Classroom, presentation, Teams, teacher, student, cloud, all this. So like this we can achieve, that is what the interactive, the on create a interactive presentation. This is to get real time input from the online students, even in the face to face class also. Okay, so for your reference, I will give you the URL. You can explore it later. Okay. Even Google Classroom, how to create Google Classroom, how to use Google Classroom. I have recorded my own lecture of 10 minutes. You can go through this. Okay. I'm sharing all the URLs in the chat box. So participants, whoever interested, please copy and maintain it so you can explore it later. Okay, going further, the next tool, that is EXE Learning. This is an interactive web content, free and open source editor to create the educational resource. So maybe you are aware of Adobe Captivate, which is the proprietary software, but the open source version of Adobe Captivate is the EXE Learning. Easy to create high quality websites with web pages including text, images. No need to have the IT, the coding literacy. So you can create your web page with interactive activities, image galleries, multimedia clips, and it can be integrated with LMS, learning management system like Moodle or other. Okay, so I will show you what I have done. EXE Learning. So you are required to download this from, I will give you the, just a second. Yeah. You can observe here. This is the, I will paste it in the chat box. Okay. So URL I have pasted in the chat box. How it works, you need to install this on your device. Okay, and then I have just for this program I experimented this. See, here I have created the course called Artificial Intelligence, where various resources are added. Okay, you just explore them. There are interactive activities, non-interactive activities, various things are available. After creating your course, you can export it. You can export it as a website. You can export it as a single page or this COM object, and this object can be connected with your LMS called Moodle. Okay. This way, URL, yeah, I have, yeah, please check. I have sent it in the chat box. exelearning.net. Okay. Otherwise, you can Google EXE Learning. Okay. Moving further, going next. Okay, I have done it. Okay, it is with the organizer. Just a second, just a second. Just a second, I will change the setting. I can send only to the organizer. Other option not available to me.
Yeah, madam. Any help
Yeah,
you want?
yeah. Sir will send you later.
Okay.
Actually, URL I'm sharing in the chat box, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you
Okay.
can send me later. No. Yeah,
Yes.
it is there. It is www.minty.com.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, you have shared it, madam. They are
Yes.
available. YouTube and
Okay.
all.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Yes. Otherwise, please note down the phrase here. You can Google it. Okay. The next is WordPress. This is for Mentor web presence. See, I can create my portfolio or the course portfolio. Okay. LMS here, learning that is CMS, content management system. Simple website for teaching and research faculty, making the resources available online. Okay, the resources here can be available online. So here you can create your own website. Okay, for that the programming language knowledge is required, nothing like that. It is the CMS, content management system. I'll give you just a second. I'll show you how it can be done. See, please note down wordpress.com. You can create your own website here. Okay. See, this is the website. Here you can, this is the website which I created. Okay. Here I'm sharing all the details. The course related details I can share, and I can ask student to enroll, student to check this particular site. See the content, just the, say for example here, the knowledge of programming is not required, is the content management system. Just you have to create the page, and you can edit it. Okay, so there the HTML, ASP script knowledge, that is not required. Just you upload your content. Okay, so save it and publish it, your page gets ready. Okay, such various tools are available. We can create such this is for the web presence. Okay, Mentors web presence, teaching faculty's portfolio as well as the course portfolio can also be created. Okay. Yes, I will. Moving further, the LMS. Okay, most of you may be aware of Moodle, the intranet or the internet version. So the similar way, the open source LMS, that is Genomio. Okay, so I will give you the URL. What it does, let me explain. I check whether it goes only to organizers. Okay, please know, participants who are interested, please note down this URL. Okay, here you can create your own LMS. Yes. See, genomio.com, you can create your own LMS. So I have created my LMS. See, you have to give this site name .genomio.com, that becomes your LMS. That will check the availability when once you enter. Okay, And this is the co-LMS which I have created. I have uploaded some courses here and I can enroll my students here. Okay, so this is the all the activities like Google Classroom. No, similarly, this is another LMS, Learning Management System. Due to time constraint, I'm just orienting you. So requesting you, whoever interested in any of these tools, you explore it. If any doubt, you can get the resources from the online or you can contact me, no problem. Okay, so this is LMS for e-learning. Very interesting. One more I wanted to tell, Padlet, that is online bulletin board. Okay, so the topic itself is technology, blending the technology. So I have taken all the technology tools which which can be used for our classroom. Okay, is the bulletin board to make and share the content with others, like a quick bulletin board, blog, or the portfolio, to make a beautiful boards, documents, web pages that are easy to read and fun to contribute. I will teach you how to do it, creating, asking the students to join, asking them to share and post. I will show you my bulletin board which you can create like this. So the URL is padlet.com. Okay, so please note down padlet.com. You can create your own. Just you have to register here. Okay, you have to register here. This is the bulletin board which I have created. Okay, where the question. So we can ask the students to give their opinion on what is the ethics behind AI, like this. Okay, so some topic we can tell, and this is shared. So there is a button, share is there. That URL I shared this with the students in my Google Classroom. Okay, so students, just by clicking this button, they give their opinion, and these are the answers. So I have created the different Padlets. So this is for the a sort of online bulletin board here. See, this we have created for our student, the final year student. Ask them to give during the pandemic they were missing college. Okay, so I just created this bulletin board and asked them to give their how they are missing cyber or college. So we can make use of this. This is the online bulletin board called Padlet. One more interesting tool, let me tell, this I'll skip, this just Flipgrid. Okay, see, Flipgrid here to empower everyone voice is the free, simple way to foster short video based discussion on classroom topics. What happens in the classroom, what we do, we tell some topic and let us talk about the debate type or giving topic and students to give their response, opinions. The classroom discussion, how it happens, the same thing can be done in the online also. This is to stay connected and share the continued learning experience. I will explain you what I have done. So I will share the link. So note down Flipgrid. Okay, you can create your own grid. Actually, during the pandemic, we have created one program for students. Okay, 15 days orientation program was there. At the end of the program, I created this grid and asked a student to give their feedback. Normally, how do we create feedback? The form, Google form or the paper, we collect the feedback. Here, the feedback is online. Feedback is the video, that is the, see, this is the feedback given by students. Okay, actually the video based feedback, that is, it's the foster the short video based discussion, video based feedback. The students here gave their feedback, 1 minute feedback. Just I'll click on this particular. You must have observed here, the grid is created very easy. You have to register to Flipgrid, create your grid, and the code, this URL is shared with the students from whom you want to receive the response. This URL is shared, and at the other end, what to be done? Clicking on this particular button, okay, students can give their response, and that response is displayed in this particular page. Even you can try now, after my lecture you can try. So you can note down this. I will give you another link to experiment this. You can try this. So we don't have much time, so you can try this. So please note down this URL, and just click on this button, and you speak for 30 seconds or 1 minute, whatever, that gets recorded and that will be displayed here in this particular page. So you can check. Okay, so this is the URL. So you can create your own grid for your class. So that is empower the every voice. So video based discussion on classroom topics. Sir, may I know how many more minutes I have?
Madam, it is up to 11:15.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, you
good,
have
sir.
another half an hour.
Yes. Then no problem. Yes. Then let me talk about the OER. Open Educational Resources. So OERs are digitized materials offered freely and openly for all educators, students, and self-learners to use and reuse of for teaching and learning. OERs are typically released under CC license. Okay, the link I will share. I'm having the options. No problem. I'm checking the other option. Okay, so this is the open educational resource. How can we make, see, we create various resource. How to make it OER, open educational resource. When we release the material with CC license, then only we can tell that resource is OER, open educational resource. So how to release the material with CC license? Okay. So if you observe, see this particular slide here, this is released with the license, CC license. This presentation is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 4.0 International License. How to embed this in my web page or this web page or the presentation or any material resource which I create, how to make this OER. Okay, so we'll show you. creativecommons.org. Okay, here. So requesting all to note down the URL. You can use this URL, use this resource to make your content OER. Okay, here just click on share your work. Share your work. click on get started to get your the required license. Okay, here you can select which type of the license you want. The license features allow the adoption of your work to be shared. Yes, no, whichever. So yes, allow commercial users of your work. Yes, so that this is the license selected. If I click on no, the license, this is the license. If I click on this no, the license selected is this. Okay, so I'll make both yes. Where do you want this? Whether you want this particular license for your web page, say for example, I'll show you in my web page. See, this is the web page. Okay, here I want to make this web page CC licensed. Okay, so how can I make? So license is selected. This particular code, I have to copy this particular code, and this code I have to embed in this particular page. Okay, I need to go to my control panel. Which page I want? I want it for home page. So I should go to my home page and I have to embed this code, this particular code into home page. Then this license like this, okay, like this. So you can see here like this, it gets displayed on my web page. So what is the meaning here? Meaning is that this particular the page is CC licensed, or I want this. See, so you can compact the icon, all these things you can do. Okay, I want this in my Word document or my presentation. So copy this, I'll come here, I will paste it in the presentation. So now this slide, this presentation has become CC license. I can tell this presentation is Open Educational Resource, OER. So like this, we can make our presentation OER. Okay, so next, the many things discussed about the content sharing. Now let us talk about on the fly assessment. See, in the regular classes as well as in the online classes, we can conduct the live quizzes, online quiz. Okay, teacher faced quiz can be conducted. Okay, the Kahoot here is a game-based learning platform that brings the engagement and fun in the classroom. Educational technology used in the schools and other educational institutes. User-generated MCQ quizzes can be accessed via web browser or the Kahoot app here. Okay, so I will show you. You can create your Kahoot by using this particular URL. You can note down this. Okay, so this is the URL. You need to register here. The free version can suffice, it fulfills our requirement. Register and then you create your Kahoot. Kahoot in the sense your quiz. Say for example, I created this quiz for this particular FDP program. See, I have see ICT pedagogy. The quiz is created. Okay, so I have set the various questions here. Okay, then I have to, so you can add the question. These are the different types of question. So I can bring the question from question bank. Then once I do done. Okay, so play. So this is for the virtual classroom. Okay, So you can play now. Okay, so this is up to 50 players. The free version is having up to 50 players. So once I click on the Classy, so it now loads the pin. You can attempt the quiz. So now Kahoot.it, you can click on, you can see Kahoot.it or Kahoot app, give this particular pin and your responses will come here. Okay, we can check. So now we don't have enough time, otherwise we can check. So this is the what I say, the live quizzes, online quizzes. We can conduct it in our regular classroom as well as in the online classes. I told you, no, what happened when I done this. Students enjoyed like anything. Regularly they were asking, Madam, Kahoot quiz, let's do Kahoot. Means they were happy that we teachers allowing them to use phone, and all the scores are getting displayed on their on the monitor. Okay, so who is the topper, first rank, second rank, everything was displayed. Now you also can try. So if you give this pin, no, yeah, see here, PAJ, someone has joined. So like this, whoever joined, no, your entry details will come here. Just yeah. This is the demonstration. Okay, this is not connected with your. Yes. So the quiz is started. The students, this is the, you can see this is the first question. This is the first question you can attempt. This is the question here. These are the answers you can attempt. Just try it. You can try. See, someone has answered. I received one answer. Yes. So this shows, yes, this whoever answered, no, answer is right. Yes. So PAJ is the depending. Now only 2 participants are there. Okay. So now only 2 participants. So you can do it in your classroom, 50 participants. Depending on their performance, the score gets displayed. You can set the time here, 20 second, 30 second, like this. So somebody has given the answer, it is correct. So it again shows the score, and depending on the score, the top performer, that is also shown. So someone is very much interested, online bulletin, again the pattern. Okay, okay, like after this I will stop. Yeah. Yes, the correct answer is this. So score is this. Like this, I will. Yes, so PAJ is the winner today. I will close this. So like this, you can create your own Kahoot. Okay, you can create your own Kahoot. Another application similar to Kahoot, one more application we have, it is Socrative. Okay, so but more than Socrative, I tested in the class, students enjoyed Kahoot because the result, score, everything, they were enjoying. The next, Screencast-O-Matic. Okay, this is for creating video OER, creation of video resources, screen recording. So as I told you, the pandemic has made us to learn so many things. So this has improved our online technological skills. Okay, so there are various videos, creating videos for slide presentation and sound narration techniques. So one among them is Screencast-O-Matic. There are various video editing softwares also there. Okay, so only the thing I'll copy this. Yeah, please check Screencast-O-Matic. Download it from the download it and install it on your device. Okay, then how it works, or you have to check. You can check. Screencast-O-Matic, another Filmora is there, Cam Studio, Recordmind, all these things. Okay, so launch the free recorder. Now it is my camera is, my system is connected with the GoToMeet, so I cannot do my recording now. Just select this and start recording. So your recording can be saved in your local disk, or you can save it in the Screencast-O-Matic account, or it can be saved in the YouTube, and that URL can be shared with the student. This is how you can do it. Okay, then next, the TED. We all familiar with the TED Talks. Okay, so now I'm talking about TED ED, to create a customized lesson. Okay, this is, we can add the interactive questions, discussion topics, TED Talks or YouTube videos, and this can be shared. The lessons can be shared online, and we can track the result. I will share the URL with you how to create customized lesson, that is TED ad. Okay. Creating customized lesson. So you need to register to this particular TED.ed. Okay, this is the URL. You can note down, interested can note down. Here you have to do the registration, and after you register, yes, after you register, create, click on the create, lesson can be created, student talks or educator talks can be created. You create a lesson. Okay, so here what I have done, the this is related to my course Artificial Intelligence, my own video that I have uploaded in the YouTube, and that URL I have given here. Okay, related to this video, I asked the question here. Okay, and I published it. Okay, the students, the student end, this is at the student end. This is at the students end. Okay. So students can see this. So my video is available. So they have to watch this video. In between there is a question. They have to pause the video and they have to answer to that particular question. Like this, the customized lesson can be created with TED-Ed. How to do it? TED-Ed, create a lesson. Here you want to connect to which video, give the URL of that particular video, and related to that video, the other activities you can do here, lesson title, and you can arrange the activities related to MCQ, open answer question, deeper questions you can ask. Some discussions can be like this. We can create a customized lesson with the help of TED-Ed. Okay, so one more thing. Yeah, the one more tool here, Wakelet, everything in one place. Actually, the thing is, the Padlet is the bulletin board. Okay, online bulletin board, where you can ask your students to give their opinions, or a particular question can be asked, particular question can be raised, and we can ask the students to give their answers. Okay, I have not provided proper detail. Let me give you the detail there, and then I will connect it with the Wakelet. Okay, you have to register here. Okay, after registering, just click on the Make Padlet. Select whichever the form you want. Okay, how you want the, whether it is stream one or the grid one. So select it. Select it. Okay, then you can give the details. So what's the title of the Padlet? Discussion. The question can be asked. Okay, so all the settings can be done. And then next, so start posting. So this URL, we need to share either this URL or there is a share button. Okay, the link can be, I can see my web page, I can attach this link, or I can share the QR code. See, this particular link code I can attach to my web page. So via in the Mentor's web presence, students can give their answer. Okay, or directly you can give this URL. Okay, at the student end, by clicking on this button, students can give their answers. So what happens? Yeah, what happens if we allow our students to use the devices, then we have, like this, to make them use the device and learn the thing. That's the main benefit of technology pedagogy. Okay. In a similar way, one more thing, that is Wakelet. Okay, Wakelet, that is everything in one place. Save, organize. I want to share the content. See, Google, the Dropbox there, Google Drive there, similar way here. So there are multiple options. So either you can use Google Drive or Wakelet also. So you can create subject-wise Wakelet at you. So I created this Wakelet for this particular session, ICT-based pedagogy. Here, the resources can be, I can share, I can add. So I have added in this Wakelet, this is my Wakelet. The title of the Wakelet is ICT-based pedagogy. Okay, where I have added my own YouTube lecture, the lecture on how to create Google Classroom. Okay, this lecture is added, and I can edit, I can add the more, edit the collection, I can add more information here. See the plus button, click on the plus, I can give the URL, other text can be added. Okay, it can be made public or unlisted. Means I want to share this Wakelet only with my students. I don't want to make it public, only with my students. Okay, so then how can I share this Wakelet? See, there is a button called share, same as Padlet. There is a button. So just a second, I'll show you. So invite, you can collaborate other teachers also. So you can share this with the students. This is the URL. This URL is used for sharing. Okay, various ways here. Which are the ways I discussed? See, the Google Classroom as a virtual classroom, resources can be shared. The Google Drive. So once I tell Google Classroom, see everything here. All the content creation we can use Google Docs. Say for example, how can I create the
Hello. Hello. Madam, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry. All the Google resources can be added here. This is the very useful resource for content sharing, even the assessment part also. Okay. And the second one, Genomio, that is LMS system, Wakelet, all these things for content sharing as well as the mainly two, three things: content creation, content dissemination, and the assessment. These are the three things we can do with the help of technology. So creating the content, making use of these apps, which we either the video content or the documents, PDF, audio, all this, that is the e-content. I just wanted to take you there. This is the e-content, text, books, video streaming, audio streaming, reviews, communication. We can make use of technology for creating this e-content. Then content dissemination. How can I share this content with my students? So there are the options, as I said, Google Classroom or the WordPress, creating the course portfolio or the teacher's portfolio where I can share the contents. LMS system, so you can note down. So Google Classroom, web presence, websites, or the LMS system for content dissemination. The third important part is the assessment part. Okay, the face-to-face assessment we do, live assessment, making use of Google Quiz, where you can schedule your quiz. Okay, I'll show you. The quiz can be scheduled here. Okay. The quiz schedule, you can schedule your quiz when, okay, at this particular time. Then what is the duration? Due time also can be given. So due time also can be given. Okay, so like this, the quiz. So the third part, that is assessment part, Google Quiz, Kahoot, the teacher quiz, or the Socrative, various other apps are available for assessment. So mainly three things will take you to this particular slide. So mainly three things: creating the content, dissemination of the content, and the assessment. So we can use technology, we can blend the technology in our pedagogical things so that we can make teacher-centric classroom as learner-centric classroom. Okay, so thus blending the technology improves or enhances the quality in the teaching learning process. This is what I wanted to discuss. So the 3-4 minutes may be with us. If any question, I'll try to answer. Yes, participants, if there is any question, you can unmute and answer, or you can post it in the chat box. Yes, yes.
Ma'am, I have one question regarding Kahoot app. Can I use it for? I'm a maths teacher, so can I use for maths? Because in Google Form, what I observe for mathematical questions, we need to type an equation. So in Google Form, writing an equation is not possible. So we have to paste the image over there. So in Kahoot, is it possible to write an equation with the equation editor?
Equation editor exactly we don't have. Actually, it is there for the higher plans. So lower plans, mostly equation, regular equations can be given, madam. You can check. It can be given. It can be given. Even in the Google quiz also, some extensions there. Image is one option. Image is one option. Another option, some extensions available. So using those Google extensions, the equations can be formed.
Can you tell me, ma'am, that extension, please, if you know it?
I will share it with you later. Share your
Okay.
email with me. Okay. I don't know the
Okay.
name. Even we have done one more thing. Excel. We created our MCQ in Excel sheet, and Excel to Google form, the exporting the things, the conversion we have done. There in the Excel we created the quiz. Excel we created the equation.
Okay.
Even it's possible Word to Google form conversion. Your quiz is in the Word. Your quiz in the Word. In Word we can create the equation. There is a tool called Form Builder. Form Builder.
Pardon, ma'am. Can you put it in chat?
I will write here. Form Builder.
Okay.
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 Your quiz in your quiz in Word, Microsoft Word or Google Docs. Okay. Google Docs to Google Quiz.
Okay. Acha. That can be done by Form Builder.
In the Word you can create the equation.
Okay.
Plus I can also tell you Google script here. Okay. Your quiz, what we have done, a quiz in the Excel, Microsoft Excel or Google Sheet. Okay. So in the we wrote a small script. That script has converted Excel to Google Quiz. That is also another option.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. And I have one more question regarding Padlet. I have used it actually, but how many free Padlets we can use? Because I guess more than 7 it is not allowing. So is it like that for free source?
No, not. You are telling 7 Padlets or
yes.
7 responses?
Yes. I have used 7 Padlets for getting the responses from the students. But when
I'll give you one idea. You just make it archive. Whichever you are not using currently, make it archive so that you can create the new one.
Yes, that I did then later on. But what I was asking is it like that for free source there is a limitation for the creating the Padlet?
Limit every is a type of business, right, madam?
Okay, ma'am.
Making those to upgrade. So this is the alternative here.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other questions? I have an AI experiment. If sir permits, I can show you.
Yeah, madam, please.
Yes, if we have time, I will share the. Yes.
Please, go ahead.
I just want, with this experiment, I wanted to tell that we the teachers, we should be a conductor in an orchestra, not the like the conductor in the orchestra, not the trainer in the circus. Okay, I just want you to This is an AI experiment. I don't know in GoToMeet how it works. So this works fine. I checked with the other platform. You can check in the this one in Google after the session. You just check it. What is this? I will explain you. I'll off this camera so that, see, this is the experiment, very interesting experiment by Google here. Okay, this is, we all aware of orchestra, right? So we can conduct orchestra in the browser by moving the arms here. Okay, see, I'll start it. So now it captures, now it is capturing my image. Okay, so it is capturing my how I am sitting. The conductor is capturing this. Okay, and it starts there now. So as and when I make the movement, right, the like this I am making the movement. Okay, here you can observe the instruments. Okay, that starts playing. If I make the movement, that score gets computed. You can observe the instrument start playing. Okay, you check it later. Okay, you please check it later. How it? I'll just show this video. You'll understand. I'll tell you at the end the objective of studying this. See, as we make the movement here, the instruments start playing. What is this actually? See, this is the AI experiment by Google. Okay, it's the machine learning experiment. Here, depending on the move, whatever the movements we do, the camera captures our movements. The score gets computed. Depending on the score, the instrument starts playing. It's a very deep learning application. Okay. Most important, why I added this particular thing in this presentation. The reason is, we being the teachers, we should be like a conductor in the orchestra, not the trainer of the circus. That's the message I wanted to share with you all. Yeah, sure. Yes. So I have crossed the time. If any question, you can ask. Yes, sir.
Yeah, madam.
Yes, sir.
So, dear participants, if you have any queries, please pose them.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, madam. Yes.
Just want to confirm the last which you had shown, the
Yes.
conductor, semiconductor.
Yes.
It's for what purpose you want to relate? I didn't get it. I get it that it's an app, like it's a browser where you can, play orchestra with the movements. But you want this to apply to teaching pedagogy? I didn't get it.
Actually, this is a AI application. I'm a teacher of computer science. I'm an AI teacher. So this is the AI application where the deep neural network architecture is used for constructing this particular application. Okay, the application here shows you are conducting the orchestra through your browser. Okay, what happens as and when I make the moves here, when I make the moves, the score get computed, and at the back end there are tiny audios, huge number of tiny audios. The mapping takes place. My score and this particular audio, the mapping takes place, and that gets played. I just wanted to tell you the application of technology, application of AI here. Okay, while the IT teachers here can show such applications in their classroom to motivate the students towards learning, doing such type of application. There are many such applications available from the Google or others also. So showing such applications to students that motivate students to creating such application. So we are having various roles. We should motivate our students. So we tell many things. Just by demonstrating such things, we can motivate them.
Like, you mean that after showing this video or conducting something like this, I'm so sorry, but I didn't get it because I'm a management student, a management faculty. So my students are management MBA students. So how I can relate to it?
Yes. So there are related. This is especially I'm focusing related to IT part, IT teachers.
Okay.
IT teachers.
That will be more useful for IT teachers rather than others.
There are such type of tools available for analytics also, management also. I have not taken that case study. Such tools can be demonstrated for management students to motivate them.
Okay.
So they can design such applications.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, madam. Thank you. Please conclude yourself.
Yeah. Okay, if there are no other questions, I'll conclude the session. So the major objective of the blending the technologies for qualitative learning is to make the teacher-centric classroom to student-centric classroom the main thing. So this helps in upgrade enhancing the skills required in 21st century classroom, and the various methods, incorporating various methods in the pedagogy, so that improves the students' attention span. This is what I wanted to share in this particular forum. Thank you, Dr. Sambasiva Rao, program coordinator of this program, the whole organizing team, the NRI Institute of Technology, and the Atal Academy for this opportunity. And thank you, participants, for your active participation. Thank you all.
So thank you, madam.